across our nation is difficult. It is difficult. Our city is no different. Our city is no different in terms of what you're seeing as Baton Rouge, as New Orleans, San Francisco, Dallas, Texas, Bossier City. No different. I'm going to tell you what we're seeing in our community, and I have a closer view of things that occur than most of you. You know some of the common things that you see? We are, as a whole, as a world, beginning to experience and be receivers of something we created. Let me explain that a little bit. Our country, our city, was built solid on awesome Christian values, from the oldest in the household to the youngest in the household. And keep that in mind. I think our God never abandons us, but he left us a written roadmap to follow. One of the things that occurs is that we don't follow it close enough. Let me tell you what I see in some of the horrific things that occur across our community. And I still believe that our spiritual bodies, our churches, are the strongest influences in our community. I see, looking deep into things, some of the people that are, the majority of the people that are affected by horror don't have a real good relationship with, guess who? Guess what? With the churches. And it becomes so evident when I close my eyes for the last time when God calls me home. I'm a member of the Sunrise Baptist Church, 3220 Lakeshore Drive. Let that be the place where I lay and people come to see me the last time. It becomes so evident sometimes how close people are when somebody passed and they're searching for a place for a funeral. It becomes so evident. But we find in our business, because we look deep after something happened, trying to figure out what happened, what got this person. We see very little relationships. We see, you know, life is about risk management, and I know I'm out of time, I'm fixing to wrap it up. Thank you. You know, life is about risk management, managing the risks in your life. So what that means, we find that the majority of the horrific things that occur in places where the risk is high. It's a place where bad things go on all the time. It's a place where drugs are sold. It's a place where distilled spirit, brown water, whatever you want to call it, is consumed or distributed. It's around places where people participate in activities that are high risk. So what happens? Living a high-risk lifestyle puts you in a high-risk category. It's about risk management. If you separate those risks from your life, you take a lot of risk out of it. When I made this northward journey, God gave me the opportunity to make a brand new start. Because I tell you, I wasn't always the police officer Wayne Smith or Chief Smith. I was once a teenager. I was like everybody else that you see, in an environment that encouraged things that were ungodly. I'm not ashamed to admit it, and I'm not ashamed to admit it because I'm proud God put a whooping on me and sent me in a different direction that I ain't going back again. That's taking the risk out of your life. But what happened when I made that 50-mile journey north, guess what I did? I left the risk behind me. I kept focused on the light ahead, which God was giving me an opportunity to make a brand new start, where I didn't have to, I wasn't influenced by some of the same old people that I was. Best thing that could ever happen to me. But I tell you, You have a police department here in Shreveport of great men and women who has the heart for this community just like I do, that goes beyond the call of duty to put in the extra hours, the extra time, make sacrifices to be away from their family and things for the betterment of this community. We're a paramilitary organization that's mission driven, and our mission is to make this entire community a much better place for us who are here now and for those that's to come in the future. I applaud the efforts of this organization for reaching out, for strategizing, coming up with good ways and good solutions to help our people. One thing I learned along the way, as you progress, as you do better by somebody else. Bring somebody else along. The pleasures, the fruit of the labor that we enjoy today, our bellies are full of the fruit that somebody else picked. We're standing on their shoulders. It's important, oh so important, for us to keep those legacies alive. We don't have to name people by name, but we know who they are, and it's important that we do the same thing. So years from now, many, many years from now, when we are not in our primes, when we're in the third and fourth quarter of our lives, there will be others to take up the torch and carry it on, because we're going to win this battle. We're going to win this game. And I tell you, nothing is more important than what the spiritual community, the churches, bring to our community. And my final closing comment, and as some say, think about this on your way home. Around our world, not just Shreveport, but around this global place we call Earth, a lot of things people disagree with. But there's a few things that people do agree with. The majority of people, no matter where you are, where you land, what you look like, or what you do, believe in the power of prayer, and that there is a higher power than us alone. God bless you all, and thank you so much for this effort. Thank you for the opportunity to come out and meet with you this afternoon.
Our next speaker will be Councilman Dr. James L. Green.
Thank you very much to the pastor and to the official staff, to our chief. But it's not L, it's E. Yes, ma'am. And also, Chief, whenever you do a speech at the church, I always say if you want at least 20 more minutes, all you got to do is say, in my closing. But thank y'all for inviting me, and certainly it's a pleasure to be here. And I know you gave me 3 minutes, but I told him some, so you probably might want to extend my. I'm just playing. Good to see Craig Lee. But I want to tell y'all what's happening. The chief didn't tell you, but right up on Monkhouse Drive, the contracts are just about to go out that we will have a substation there that will house the police department, and the traffic is already going to be up there. It's going to change the whole scope of this community. So just know, in the bond proposal that we passed, my district has at least $23 million in it, and we're going to do streets, infrastructure, water, and all of that stuff. We're also getting ready to redo Libby Glass, and that means that jobs are coming to this area. So regardless as to what people say, just know that Shreveport is a great place to be at this time. In the next 6 or 7 months, you will see people coming to Shreveport like never before. So just know that we're in a great time for such a time as this, and I'm very happy to be here. I don't know who all called me, but I think several different people call, individual ladies called me, right? And somebody even called me today, said, we just want to confirm that you come. Let me just tell y'all, all y'all had to do is just say, the bishop said, come over to the church at 6:30. I'm simple. I mean, it's easy. You ain't gotta go through no all whatever. Just say the bishop said, be over here at 6:30, and I'll be. Y'all ain't got a prime and prop. Do y'all have something to eat? I'm just playing, but thank y'all so much. And just in case you don't have my number is area code 318-635-7118, and I answer my own phone. Thank y'all so much. Have a good evening. God bless you.
Lord, forgive me. There's other members here in the police department that you got to meet, you got to know. Stand up here. This is, we do things in acronyms in our, this is your NAT. You know, not the NAT that you want to swat now, don't get it wrong. But NAT doesn't stand for Neighborhood Assistance Team Member. Some years ago, we found that the community needed someone who looked just like them, dressed just like them, that was able to maneuver throughout the community, to visit with you, to talk with you, to be a conduit between you and us, and you remain comfortable in talking with them. So that's how NATS came about. They help you set up your neighborhood associations, your block parties, all kinds of things, but they have a direct line to me. So in other words, to give an example, if there's something going on in your neighborhood and you don't feel comfortable calling the police or calling me, telling me about it, you can call, you can visit with her. She drives a car that looks just like the car that you got, a bunch of antennas sticking out and red lights and nothing like that, to visit with you to get to me. So I'm going to let her introduce herself to you.
Thank you, Chief. Good evening, everyone. My name is Caitlin Ellis. Chief Wayne literally said everything that I was going to say. But what he didn't know is that Impact Church is actually the church where I serve. So everybody, everybody knows me here. So I'm definitely no stranger. As he said, I serve in this area, which is Area 3, and my office is Airport Park. My supervisor is DeShayla Plater, who also serves here in the ministry. So once again, we are so excited. Well, I'm so excited to be here tonight, and it's a pleasure to get to meet any neighborhood associations. I definitely want to get your contact information. And Officer Dowell is coming up. This is who your CLO is as well, and we work alongside each other. Thank you.
Let me tell you what CLO stands for. What an acronym is that? That stands for Community Liaison. We found a lot of things that work great for us. What works great for us is having someone who's specifically assigned to your community. And here's what they do. Everything that may seem like a police problem is not necessarily a police problem. It could be code enforcement. It could be a host of things. But he has the opportunity, has the time, the availability to really look deep into something and solve problems once and for all, besides be that conduit with the NAT. Let me tell you, a couple of weeks ago, I was up in the Martin Luther King area at a prayer vigil, and everybody, prayed, and all kind of awesome things went on. Great service right on the street corner. And then when I got through praying, my NAT supervisor came up and she said a prayer, and I'm thinking, good Lord, you finally sent me a good one. Then after that, she got up and sang a song. And let me tell you, I got so happy I could be that finally, there were people that, love the Lord and share the same Christian value that I do. Thank God for you so very much. Neela didn't know she was a member here, but thank you all for her. You got a good one.
We always know that whatever you all are doing, we created what we used to call in the old days a TIF district. My whole district is an economic district, so what you all are doing will fit right in there. At this particular time, we have about $15,000 in it. It will roll over to 2025, and you all will fit in. We'll just get with you all and figure out the logistics, and just know that the entire district of District F is a economic division zone.
Praise God. The liaison for this area, District F, and just
No, sir. No, sir, Chief. No, sir, Chief. Amen. Amen. Somebody say, bless the Lord up in here. First, giving honor to God, who's the head of my life, to the bishop of this house, Bishop Mason. I know we go way back. Me and your son served in the same unit together, and, you're like a father to me just as well. Again, give shout out to our chief. Did such a wonderful job to our chief. And to the great councilman of this area right here, Mr. Green right here. Again, my name is Officer Joshua Dial. I'm your community liaison officer of this area. And me and Miss Ellis, we work hand to hand in community art policing. Like Chief always said, we like to abbreviate things. So that's called COP. That's what we call it. COP is community art policing. I am your liaison over here for District F. And like Chief said, what we basically do, we do make arrests and we do answer certain calls, but majority of our calls are quality of life issues that you have going on in neighborhoods, such as nuisance problem, parking, different things like that. The big issue that we have going on in the city now is the blight issues that we got going on. So we're trying to take, we're doing a little thing now where we got an initiative going on where we're trying to go around to these different neighborhoods and find abandoned, adjudicated homes and different properties that are not kept up, illegal dumping and different things like that. So that's what we mostly focus on in our unit, different things like that. And the good thing that you say is community development, because a lot of people are moving out of our community instead of coming in. And there's some things that we need to do as a community to get our community back together. And one of the things that we do need is clean our communities. If you have a cleaner community, it'll be a safer community. You'll get way more people in that want to spend money in your community. So that's one thing that we're trying to do to help our community out. Other than that, I know you told me that you wanted us to get with you and see what type of resources. I'm not the money man. That's the money man right there. But what can we? But what we can do is give you our time, give you our effort, and give you our dedication to let you know that we're here for you and we're here to serve you. Anything that the Moortown community needs, we are most definitely be here for. Any events, any problems, any nuisance problems that you have, anything, we will be there. I'm your first line of defense, or like Chief said, Miss Ellis is. If you can't get with her, you can get with me. We both share an office over there at Airport Park together, and we be there every day, 8 to 5. If not, we're probably doing some youth camps and different things like that, but I do have my own personal city number that you can get with me. I have my cards. I'm going to go out there and get them, and I'll give them to y'all so y'all can have them. But again, any complaints that you have, if it's criminal, you can still call me. But again, if it's criminal, because we still are the police. Like Chief said, we are a paramilitary unit, so that's what we do. We still answer calls and we still respond to crime calls and different things like that, but our main focus on is trying to build and grow our community. So if you have any questions, I will leave my card in the back. If you have any concerns, anything that you see, nuisance problems, or any concerns, if you just want me to come over there and sit and drink some tea and eat some noodles with you, I will come over there and do that. So other than that, I will leave my cards with you. God bless you, and thank you for inviting me.
when I heard the chief say where he was from, Cashapp. Now, Bishop, tell me where you from. Cooper. And you? Belcher. I'm from Pleasant Hill. What do these small towns do? They bring in people from the country to the city, and we make up communities. We learn in those small towns, working together is the only way you make it. What we do, we help neighbors. We try to take care of old, elders, or whatever, senior citizens. 6 weeks ago, my neighbors came to me and said, we need to have a meeting. We are unhappy about some things going on in the community. Like I said, I was worried, was it the crime? Was it that something had happened? They said, yeah, we want to talk about it. I said, we have a city council. And I can guarantee you, because I've been knowing him a long, long time, he'll come to our meeting. I said, what? And he said, when I call him, he said, not only I'll come, I'll bring all the city with me. It happened. The city came out. They listened to our problems. We had people just need to be heard, to let you know that they pay their tax, and they had the right to say what they want did in our neighborhood. They listened at us. The very next day when we got up, city trucks was waking us up. They was cleaning. They was mowing, doing the things we asked them to do. They did that. Because nobody make me lie. Because nobody give me nothing. I don't take money from people. I don't belong to a group of people. I belong to the community. Come to Moortown community, God, and see what 30 years have did for us. It put the pride in us. James Green made sure when it was Grant, he made sure that my non-profit organization could get the driveway and some of the things we needed there. That's what's important. When I got this note, and it said Moortown Community Development, I was excited. I had to get down here. I rode up and down Broadway because I couldn't figure out the address. I said, nah, I know. Do anybody know Michael Shannon? That used to be the pastor right here. He was a policeman. He was. And I came to this church many times, but I never heard of that address. So when I did find it, and I came over, and I met her, and I was so excited. I went back and told my neighbors, let's go. There's something for Moortown. We need to hear, and we need to put our input in it. How do we have anything if we don't ask and find out how to do it? For instance, the school system. We can talk about they closed this and they done did this and did that. That's a done deal. Why are we still arguing about it? But we got schools sitting in the neighborhood. Why can't we talk about what we're going to do with them? Let's talk about what can happen. Like you say, in Moortown, it's a lot of people don't have cars. They have to walk to get everything they want, they need. If they get a blood pressure check, somebody got to take them to the doctor. Everybody can't afford to pay somebody to take them. And when you don't have legs or when you don't have transportation, what happened to you? You don't go to the doctor. You become a diabetic. You can't get your medicine. But if we had somewhere we could walk, if them schools closed, something there that our neighborhood can benefit from. That's what I'm asking for. Let's improve what we got. because like I said, it's never gonna be a children there no more. Why fight for something like that? Fight for what we need. If only elderly peoples or senior citizens that live in there, put us something there for us. Thank you all. I appreciate you letting me talk, and I must say, I appreciate you. I will be down to the city council office to let them know how proud Moortown is of you. Both of you. Chief, thank you. This morning, I just want to add this. As I woke up to watch TV in the middle of the night, about 3 o'clock, I heard, bup, 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 bup. I wanted to call somebody. I didn't know I can call you.
Amen. Well, we down to our final speaker, and that's Mr. Craig Lee, my friend. He's the chairman of Get Up, Inc. and co-founder and public relations director of Dads on Duty.
Greetings to Bishop Mason and kinfolk. I'm Craig Lee. First off, I'm very proud of what you guys are looking to do with this Community Development Corporation. I am the great nephew of the founder of Moortown, Giles D. Moore. Giles D. Moore was the brother of my great-great-grandfather, Philip Moore, out of Wascom, Texas, and he migrated to the unincorporated area of Caddo Parish in the late 1800s, and he and my other uncle, Almonte Moore, was the founder of several churches, but one in particular in Wascom, which was New Boggy, where Reverend Harry Blake got his start. They bought up over 1,000 acres of land over here with a vision of having a self-contained African-American community. And so you guys are doing something that is very important. And when kinfolk, I was like, man, I'm at his legacy of the TIF district, he ain't even mentioned it. And so I'm like, dude, that's your biggest thing. Like, this tax incentive financing district is going to be major, and he laid the foundation for it. He had asked me he said, Kinfolk, I want you to put some stuff together so we can see what's going to be incorporated. And the next thing I know, he said, the whole district is going to be a tax incentive financing district. That's a game changer. I always like to get started. There's a quote that I live by every day, and it says, if there is no struggle, there is no progress. Those who profess to favor freedom yet deprecate agitation are men who want crops without plowing up the ground. They want rain without thunder and lightning. They want the ocean without the awful roar of its many waters. This struggle may be a moral one, or it may be a physical one, or it may be both moral and physical, but it must be a struggle. Power concedes nothing without a demand. Never has, never will. Men may not get all they pay for in this world, but they most certainly will pay for all they get. I live by that. That is dedicated to Frederick Douglass. So let me give you guys some perspectives because it is important for what you guys are seeking to do in this area. Dr. Phoenix, is she here? Hey, how you doing? This is beautiful. Moortown has an opportunity to do some major things. And I want y'all to keep the history of the neighborhood in mind, of the community in mind, because my uncle's vision was for this to be a self-contained African-American community, homeowners, businesses, schools. That's how Coleman College ended up coming. People like Ms. Ruby Small, that's the backbone of neighborhoods. You gotta have people engaged and involved. People are always complaining, but a lot of them don't want to do the work. What is the scripture? The work There's a lot of work, but the laborers are few. A lot of work. Yesterday I was in the Victoria Sutherland, and a lady, chief came up. I've been looking for you, Mr. Craig. They tell me you write grants. I need a grant. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. You ain't getting no grant. I tell them straight up. Lady, listen. Your best bet is to partnership with some other people, because everybody heard about a 501c3. Everybody want 501c3. I want a grant. I need partnership with somebody, because all y'all can't get funded. And if all y'all go down there and ask James Green or Tabitha, can I get a grant? No, you can't. See, they'll be nice to you. I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm going to give you some castor oil. No, you can't get no grant. She didn't even want to do a 501c3. So we know you're not going to get no grant. So there are a lot of opportunities here in the city of Shreveport, but you got to make your community, your neighborhood strong. And that starts based on a block by block mindset. And you got to embrace that. And I'm glad that because have you been meeting with Darren Jackson? Okay, good, because he is laying out a game plan, and I'm glad that you're involved with the clergy in the Mooretown area so that you guys can now be integrated into this. I mean, y'all got the airport in your district. You see, there's some assets that you have. And so with James laying the foundation with the TIF district, that's very important. So let me hit you on a couple of quick things, and I'll sit down. I know you guys have heard about the 50 cents coming to Shreveport, right? So we've heard, I don't know how you get negativity out of that, but what are you going to do to save the city? No, it's what you're going to do. See, because he's a stimulus for economic development, but it's what we do. Now, most people don't know how he came here. I had to educate Mr. Calvin Lester Sr. today as to how he came, because he was shocked that he's even here. So let me explain this to you. 50 Cent has a business partner, and they were cool, but 50 didn't even know what was going on. 50 had already come to Shreveport. Bebe had brought him here in the early 2000s when he launched his music career. He came back to Shreveport in 2007, 2008, when he was starring in a film called Streets of Blood. And so there was no interest that Curtis 50 Cent Jackson had in Shreveport at that time. Well, lo and behold, Bebe launched the music career of a guy by the name of Hurricane Chris. Hurricane Chris needed a manager. Bebe sought out Orville Hall. Orville Hall has a platinum music career. He ends up coming to Shreveport. When he comes to Shreveport, he finds some interest in Shreveport. My good partner, Anthony Montgomery, and his wife, Cassandra, and her sister, they hire him to be the manager of Club Hayes. He falls in love with Shreveport. He buys a home on Cross Lake. He falls in love with Shreveport. So when my little nephew Damien with Orlando's opened up on Monkhouse Drive, I just happened to be about 3-4 years ago sitting at a table next to who turns out to be Orville Hall. He was already bringing people in from out of town to come check out Shreveport. So there was about 5 people at the table. So I hear him talking, so I intervene, and so he liked what I had to say. So we connected. So that's how 50 got here. He had a vision, Orville, about Shreveport in terms of our natural resources, the fact that we got almost 7,000 adjudicated properties, and a lot of people ain't doing nothing with them. And so he came up with a concept called Flip the City, where he wants to take renters and flip them into what? Homeowners. So the first film project they're doing is called Flip the City. Guess who's co-starring in the film? Y'all better get my autograph tonight before I have to start charging you some money for it. But that's the first project that they've completed the deal. Tabitha is saying, I haven't even seen it, James. She said she was crying. And so Shreveport is about to go on a whole different trajectory. We've done what we've done on the dad's on duty side to work with the police department as it relates to prevention. Our focus is on preventing crime, and you do that through empowering youth, and that's what we started at Southwood, but we're about to take that to a whole nother level as well. So there's a lot of positive things that's going on in the city of Shreveport, but you got to get involved in the process, because if you don't get involved in the process, nothing can actually happen. We have a lot of phenomenal talent from Shreveport that's migrated off to other places that we're trying to recruit back to at least invest in the city. I don't know if you guys, do y'all know Dr. Albert Powell? How many of you know Dr. Powell, or have heard of Dr. Powell? Dr. Powell has a sister. Her name is Juanita Powell Barranco. Look up that name tonight. Juanita Powell Barranco, straight off of Milam, on the corner of Milam in Alabama. One of the wealthiest people in the world, her and her husband, but they never invested in the city of Shreveport. But look how the Creator is working. Look how the Creator is working. Her daughter is now heading up the Women and Children's Hospital, and she has a couple of children. So now Juanita has to come back to her hometown. Her husband is actually from here as well. His brother is Will Pryor. He works for the DA's office. There's so many phenomenal, talented people from Shreveport, but they left and they never came back. Why did Will Smith make the movie King Richard? Why did he make that movie? He won an Oscar. And where's his dad from? Shreveport, Louisiana. Mr. Richard Williams is from Shreveport. But see, nobody ever reached out to put a deal together to try to bring Venus and Serena to Shreveport. We sit on gold mines, and we don't reach out to the people that we really need to reach out to. This is how we go about helping the chief. I always tell Chief, this is no disrespect to law enforcement. I don't care how many police that you have. You can't stop crime or reduce crime with law enforcement. They respond to crime. I'm glad they have CLOs and NAT officers, but the only way that you can reduce or eliminate crime is to penetrate the mind and the spirit of a potential criminal before he or she commits the crime, empower them spiritually, culturally, educationally, economically, socially, and politically, show them a different way of handling life obstacles, and now you can begin to reduce crime. If you don't do that, what y'all gonna do? Jane, what you gonna do? Dude, they can't stop crime. They have to give y'all politically correct answers, but when I was a child, my mama gave me this stuff called castor oil. I didn't like it, but it helped me. I like to give people castor oil. James gonna try to be nice to you. I'm gonna give you castor oil. They can't stop crime. All they can do is encourage and help put resources. And now that you all are now doing this with this CDC, and now you work together with Morningstar, you work together with, because he a preacher too. He sell holy water and all that stuff. Butter for your face, kinfolk sell it all. But you all work together, and that's how you now start to make the change. And then you can now make my uncle's vision of what he saw for Moortown. And lastly, as I tell people this, and you mentioned, who mentioned Miss Ruby Small? You mentioned about the schools, and I'm right with you. The school closures, yeah, it's bad, but it's actually creating an opportunity. When I go over the economics of the per pupil allotment for schools, they shut down a school. Y'all create what? A school. Y'all can get $15,000 per child, basically. Because what the white folks have now said is, we tired of giving y'all our tax dollars. So you all have to now come up with your own game plan. So how many black townships do you think were created after slavery? Slavery was physically ended 1865. From 1864 to 1944, how many black townships do you think our people created? One? Wow, that's interesting. Anybody else? I got some money for you if you get it right or close to it. I give you. I got a couple dollars. Anybody can guess close to it? 7. How many? 0. Wow. Let me show you how gangster our people are. From 1864 to 1944, throughout the entire United States, our ancestors from as far northwest as Alaska, as far southwest as California, as far northeast as Maine, and as far southeast as Florida, and all points in between, created over 200 black townships. Yeah, because you're in one of them. This was initially called Moore's Town. When my uncle died in 1929, the property was annexed into the city, and it came to be known as what? Moortown. That's the history of this place. But there are towns that our ancestors created, Africa, Texas. I mean, literally. And there are about 40 that's still around. Most of them are in Oklahoma. We did more with less than today. And this is the challenge, because we become comfortable. But you got to now start mobilize, organize, educate, and activate yourselves so that you can now rock and roll. So I'm glad, Brother Mason, that you all have started to do this initiative. This is a great thing, Sister Phoenix, and anything that I can do to help, I'll be helping. Thank you.
Lord. All righty. And we have a wonderful advisory board that we have established with Patricia Whitaker. She's out of Tyler, Texas. She chairs our housing initiatives. We have Pastor Dwayne Phoenix, who works in conjunction with her. He chairs the renovation of the housing initiatives. We have Pastor Barrington Gibson, who chairs our youth initiatives. And we have Miss Kimberly Clark, who chairs our mental health initiatives. We also have been blessed with a wonderful staff, myself as the Chief Executive Officer. We also have Elizabeth Mason Taylor as our Chief Financial Officer. We have Ms. Pamela Evans as our Executive Director. We have Ms. Kaylin Bennett as our Assistant Executive Director. We have Ms. Kamisha Jenkins as our Social Media Director. We have Ms. Sandra Jenkins as our Hospitality Director. And we have Ms. Regina Guy and Ms. Sharman Nash as our Administrative Assistants. If you all could please give them a hand clap of praise for their sacrifice and diligence and all that they do to assist us in doing what we do as the CDC. And Pam, at this time,
Yes, we just want to know, are there any business owners in here? If so, can you please stand? Well, we know you don't. We know you. Okay. All right. What is to our destiny? We're about to come to. Oh, sir, what kind of business do you have? Oh.
I've been a business owner for a very long time. Very few people know about it. It's called WES Services, which is a demolition and construction company. And recently, well, besides lots of real estate,
bad and serious. I got a friend sitting here today. She need help. She have called everybody. She can't even get out of her driveway. Stand up, Miss Alexander. First thing I told her, call our counselor, and she tried to wait to call him before she talked to everybody she could about it. Tell them your problem, and she need help, you all. Sometimes you need help, and we, as neighbors and as friends, we have the right to ask for who need it real bad. My neighbor, my friend, she need help. Will you let them know about it?
Hello, everybody. My name is Darlene, and I'm from the Moortown area, but I live on Greenwood Road. Can you understand me through the mask? I'm still the last one wearing it. But anyway, because of the bad weather, a tree fell down in my yard. It's 3 trees hooked together. One fell over into the street. The city and Shreveport came out and cleared the street, but they left everything else there. And that's my responsibility. And the 2 trees that's still standing, because that tree fell, it's leaning over toward the house. And it's going to eventually fall because all the roots are together. And I'm just trying to call around to see what could be done about it. And I'm a senior citizen. I had insurance. You know how people come to your house and sell you insurance? I had it for 30 years. And they just all of a sudden dropped me. Well, not all of a sudden. They dropped everybody. It was one of these fly-by-night insurance, but I had them forever. And now when I call to try to get insurance, everybody telling me I'm too old. They don't want to insure it. So that's what I got.
Thank you so much for coming. Did you fill out an intake assessment form? Okay. We'll be contacting you. Pastor O'Neill?
Me and some brothers will come by there and look at the tree, and so we need to do to get it done. We'll figure it out. Okay, don't worry about it. We'll come by your house.
That's to our destiny. So let me just go on my part. Yeah, I'm good. Again, we thank you all for coming out just to introduce to our destiny, to the community and to the neighborhood. And we really want to thank the media for coming out and helping us to expose the organization as well as the community. You know, one of the things that we have a lot of people that may have issues that they're going through, and if the alarm is sounded to come and tell us what the issues are and you don't show up, well, how can we help? This sister showed up, and the Lord blessed her, and she got some help. That's the only way we are going to be able to do it. Community plays a part. I didn't want the community coming in here and bashing our city councilman and our chief of police and our officers and all of that. No, community, what are the issues that you have identified? And give it to us to have the opportunity to see what resources and benefits we can identify in order to substantiate that issue and eliminate it. That's what we're here for. But we don't know it if you don't come and participate. That's what this town hall meeting is for. So just to give you a little information, even some folks don't even know what a community development corporation is. Well, it is a nonprofit organization, and it's created to support and revitalize communities, especially those that are impoverished or struggling. Why is it have to be our neighborhoods that are impoverished and suffering? We deal with the development of affordable housing, and we're involved in community services, everything from education, job training, healthcare, community development, and social programs. And To Our Destiny is a registered entity with the United States government system for award management. That means that we have the ability to get contracts from the government for program and services. We've established that. But we need to know what the community needs. We have a phenomenal work. We're not trying to reinvent the wheel. Phenomenal CDC and MLK that with this president, Ms. Irma Rogers, and they're working with the MLA community and doing a fabulous job revitalizing neighborhoods in addition to helping to support the Shreveport Police Department. That's what we are striving to do, the same success, but with the issues and problems that this region has, and then expanding out to other regions. So the CDCs are not government entities. We may work in partnership with government entities and businesses and corporate America, like 50 Cent, we're gonna be howling at him. Local, state, and federal government, but we're not governmental entities. We are 501c3. And some of the things that we have in place right now, we have a partnership with Southern University in Baton Rouge as a satellite office for their statewide individual development account plan IDA. What that is, it's a program for individuals that have children under the age of 18 and they qualify with a certain income. They will start this IDA program, establish a bank account with the banks that we have relationship with, save $50 a month. Once they hit 1,000, Southern will match it 4-to-1. They'll have $5,000 that they can even become a homeowner, or either have utilize it for their college tuition or to start a business. That's a win-win on both sides. We also are partners with Shreveport Job Corporation with their internship program. We have interns that come in and work 40 hours a week. We're also partners with Evolve Family Life Services, and they offer resources, skills, and life-changing opportunities to at-risk youths, young adults, and residents through mentoring and counseling and apprenticeship training and career skill training and educational support. So anything that individuals might need in order to be empowered, a CDC has it. In conjunction with these partnerships, we are prioritizing at this time our housing initiatives because of the great need. And being on the Shreveport Women's Commission, one of the issues that came up in our last meeting was, as Mr. Lee said, blighted houses. And there's a great need for housing, as we see 3 apartment complexes just got the residents displaced. So there's a great need when it comes to transitional housing, affordable housing, just individuals that want to shift from being renters to being homeowners. And we have to identify and tweak those programs to meet their need. I've even identified an area that's a loophole. We have programs for the underprivileged and the impoverished, but there's a middleman, the person that makes too much money to qualify for the low income program, but they still living paycheck to paycheck. I just had a conversation with one of our advisory board members. I said, when I started making 6 figures, I thought I was a millionaire and would be able to have a mansion and all of that. The only thing it did was give me the ability to be able to pay a car note, pay a house note, and have cable. 6 figures, regular life. So you know what it needs to really be balling. So with that stated, we are in the position right now where we want to identify the programs and the services that the community needs in order to be revitalized. And like Mr. Lee said, make it a place that folks want to come to. We want folks to come here. Like you said, man, Shreveport getting ready to be on the map with all I just heard. So we are in a great place at a wonderful time, but it's going to take community merging with marketplace, merging with ministry to be able to get the job done. So those of you that are here, I hope that you would share everything that you heard tonight with individuals and let them know we're here. If they have some issues that they have identified in the community that they would like to share with us, tell them to give us a call. We'll set up a meeting and we'll come out and sit down with them and just listen to them talk, because sometimes folks just want to be heard, like Miss Ruby said. And I commend you. I'm new to Shreveport, y'all, so I don't even know when y'all talking about 10 districts and all that stuff. But I'm learning. I'm getting acclimated with it. But I honor our councilman to hear a constituent to say we have a good councilman. So I know now we got a good councilman. To hear we have a good police chief. That's good to hear. And community can say that. Community could say the negative, but what does the community have to say positive? And for us to become partners and really bring our region to another level, because that's what we're getting ready to do. So I thank you all for attending. I will bring up our executive director again to close, and she'll give you directives.
We want to interject something in right quick. We're going to call Pastor O'Neill up. And he's going to tell you how he's connected to us.
First, give honor and praise to God, Bishop, Bishop Mason, Pastor Green, our police chief. I do disaster management. You might not remember me. Yeah, remember me? Okay. So I do disaster management. I teach for Homeland Security. I'm on the state level at mitigation anytime a disaster happens. Especially North Louisiana, so I work with I used to work for Sandy Davis, Gene Barrettini, all those folks, Robert Jump. And so when something happens here, we have a partnership with Red Cross. So within Impact Church, we have shelter managers here, certified shelter managers. I think it's like 15 of us. And anytime a disaster happens, I remember that the power went out, we ran Morning Star Shelter. So we run shelters. And we work with CW at Red Cross. And so we try to help our community to get prepared for disaster. So prior to something happens, we have training now. We do Stop the Bleed, right? We do shelter managers. We do how to feed organizations. And Impact Church is basically, they call it a beacon light. You remember the beacon light program? Morning Star is a beacon light. Highland Center is a beacon light. A church on Cooper Road is a beacon light. And we're going to eventually make Impact Church a beacon light. So anytime something happens, you can come here, charge up your phone. Our power's always on. Our water's always running, right? And you can come receive your condiments, whatever you need. So we have a disaster management plan here at Impact Church that's hooked up with the community program. So anytime y'all think about anything concerning disasters, you know we're going to hurricane season right now, right? We enter hurricane season June the 1st. And June the 1st to November the 16th, hurricane season. And we're prepping now the community for hurricane season right now. So you're going to get more information about that. And I'm going to say one thing about what you need to have to be prepared. I'm going to shut up. You need water. How much water do you need? You need 1 gallon of water per person per day in your home. If you live by yourself, you need 1 gallon. And you need to be prepared to be by yourself for 72 hours before somebody come in and help you. That's 3 days, right? But actually, you need to be able to survive for at least a week without somebody coming, to come to your rescue. So like he said, right, it's carnivore. We got to learn how to take carnivore. And we learn how to take carnivore, we get better. So be prepared for at least 72 hours. You need 1 gallon of water per person per day. Thank you.
Thank you, Pastor O'Neill.
When he said something about disaster, I feel like I'm in a disaster. I had a hole, 3-4 feet deep, where the dirt had fell in. It's at the end of my property. And I kept calling for someone to come and see about it. Okay, so today they did come out and see about it. I thought they were going to come out, add dirt in there, and fill the hole up. You know, it's like a little ditch at the end of your driveway, city property. They came there, they put some dirt in the hole, and they took this is the streets and drainage people, okay, and they took I don't know what the machine is called. I would call it a scoop machine, where you scoop up dirt when it's in a ditch like that. And they did that all the way up back from where the hole was to the driveway area. Do you know if it rained, it is no dirt in there, it is no grass in there anymore because they have scooped all that out. That would be a haven for mosquitoes. It couldn't dry up because it's no grass out. They took all that out. So I was going down the street and I was looking. I live on Crosby. Each property that's on if you whichever way you come, I'm standing this way so I say on the right side. They took the machine and they scooped out some dirt in front of each property and came back and put that in the hole. Okay, now you got my property and the property that's on the other side of the street where they scooped out dirt to put in the hole. I don't understand. All I thought you would do would be the streets and drainage. You would come out, fill the hole up. The area that they scooped, it's now deeper than the hole was. It's a mess out there. I called down there to talk to Mr. Jarvis. Isn't that his name? Yeah. Okay, I called to talk to him. I didn't get him. I got his secretary, whoever answers the phone. And she said, well, wait just a minute. She came back to the phone and she told me, she said, oh, they say they were coming back and finish. I said, when are they coming back? She said, well, I don't know that. I just know they said they were coming back and finish up what they did. They know they left a mess there, but it was nothing else they could do to that. All they needed to do, as I see it, was add dirt. I don't know if the city has a contract with people where they can go and get dirt. I don't know. But what was so puzzling, you wouldn't believe it if you went down to 3800, I live at 3824. If you would be riding down the street and you look to the side over there, each property, they scooped out some dirt and they scooped down the street and got some dirt and put in the hole.
So let me help you on this. And again, I got to give Castro. When you buy a home, I want you to understand this, and this is why I try to tell people everybody doesn't need to be homeowners, because here's what I'm going to say to you. It's really not the city's responsibility. And so what they were probably doing was trying to find dirt on public property and then bring it to your property because they don't have dirt to just put out.
That's what I was trying
Yeah.
to find.
Yeah, that's pretty much probably what happened. So they were trying to help the situation, but what I try to explain to our people, and this is why our neighborhoods are the way that they are, slavery, racism is real. And so how many people know what the per hour rate was in 1964? Like the hourly work, it was $1. It was $1. Now it's $7.25. So when we're talking about home ownership, so-called home ownership, number one, you never own a home because you gotta always pay taxes. If you don't pay taxes, it's gone. So this is just an illusion. Who's responsible for the roof work on your home? Who's responsible for plumbing? Who's responsible for electricity? So now, when you get older, you're on what? Fixed income. Am I making sense? So the maintenance aspect of owning homes or investing in properties are absorbent. So now what ends up happening in the city and some of the federal government in the state, they try to do programs to now help some of the elderly, but there's a lot of work that basically goes on within that overall property. So all I'm saying to you is they were trying to resolve it, but they probably created some more issues, which is what you're saying, but they really don't have dirt to just go fill up private properties. Yeah, no, because yeah, it is, yes. And that needs to happen. So, like I said, they tried to solve something, but they created a whole other issue. And I think, yeah, and since police chief is in the demolition business, he gonna help you, because he got some dirt.
Construction was one of my earliest strong points because one of my companies, we did sewer work for the city and water line. For that hole to come, something collapsed beneath, way down. Yeah, absolutely. Back long time ago, and you hear quite often people talk about the infrastructure in Shreveport is crumbling. Way back in the days, they put clay pipes under the ground for the sewer to run in. Now, and elevation is important, so sewer water flows to a lift station. So in some neighborhoods, that pipe may be 3 foot underground. In other places, it may be 20 foot beneath the ground to get that waste to a lift station. The chances are they came out thinking it was going to be a simple problem, and when they got there and dug a little bit, they realized there's a much deeper problem that we cannot fix another crew, but we got to try to put it in some kind of way so it ain't too dangerous, nobody don't fall in it until we can come back. So just have a little patience. If they tell you they coming back, now let me tell you what's going to happen when they come back. When they come back, it's going to be a much bigger machine and a whole lot of more people, and you think you saw a hole. Wait till you see the hole that they dig to get down to where that problem is, and they got to saw out that section of clay pipe that's done collapsed and put in something else in between and pile it back up. But if they tell you they're coming back, they're coming back. And that is not uncommon to shoot elevations to see where the ditch is, and if the ditch can stand it, they'll take dirt out of that to fix an immediate problem. It ain't hurting the flow of water in your neighborhood. It's still gonna flow, or else they wouldn't have dug it to start with. But that was the quick and easy fix for safety. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we want to thank everybody for coming out. We have food that's going to be served. We want to thank Miss Teresa Jackson from Shreveport Mayor's Women Commission. We want to thank Brookshires from Norris Ferry Road and Walmart from Mansfield Road. And Bishop, we would like you to close us out, sir, with prayer.
Thank you all again for coming. Let's stand. Thank you so much for your input, to you, Chief Smith, to you, Councilman Green, Brother Craig Lee. Josh, I'm so proud of you, man. Just proud of you, what you're doing. And to our Executive Director again, to our CEO, come on, give God praise. Father, how we love you and we thank you. Thank you for the gathering of these minds. Now, Father, as we've come together and we've heard issues and we've collaborated and we've found possible solutions, let us now walk out what we've talked about, that we may make our community in Shreveport better. In Jesus' name we pray. Bless the food, bless the hands, the hearts of those who prepared it. Let it be nourishment for our body. Amen.